Actually, hindi lang sa sa NCLEX processing and then everything ako sinubok ng American journey ko. Nag-start kasi ito nung actually from the beginning na nag-start ako ng NCLEX processing ko hanggang sa review, hanggang sa pumasa ako ng NCLEX, it was very smooth. Sabi ko, God-given na to, blessing na sa akin to ni Lord. And then even when I started and then I was I applied in a direct hire agency. So after that, napaka-smooth din ang immigration process ko. Within just 5 days, nakuha ko na agad yung PD ko after applying with the I-140. So 5 days pa lang nakuha ko na yung PD ko. After that, next nun yung fee bill. Very smooth, parang wala pang 60 days. Andiyan na yung fee bill ko eh. And then after that, kasi nga during the time I was still working in Saudi Arabia. So may contract din ako doon. So I cannot just parang kumbaga that time na sinabi sa akin, okay, DS-260 ka na in just 3 months. Tapos na ako ng lahat and then DS-260 na i-accomplish ko na lang yung mga documents na kailangan nila for the para ma-DQ na ako. Yung sinasabi nilang documentarily qualified. So that time natakot ako kasi sabi ko parang hindi pa ako ready para magpunta sa US kasi parang in 3 months, sabi nga nila, 'di ba, usually the usual process is like 2 to 3 years. But with my time, because it's still current that time, yung ating tinatawag na priority date is still current nung time namin. And marami talaga yung mga marami na talaga yung mga nakakapunta in just 6 months. So sabi ko, okay, kailangan ko na talagang ituloy-tuloy to. Pero sabi ko, dahil kakapirma ko lang ng contract and I was not expecting that fast. So sabi ko, hindi muna ako nagparamdam sa agency ko for almost 2 months. So, nag-submit na ako ng documents ko around December. So, meaning to say, from October 20 hanggang December 30, dun lang ako nag-submit ng documents at in-accomplish yung DS-260 ko. Then, after that, on January 7, just 7 days, actually 8 days, or after a week lang, na-documentarily qualified na ako. Naka-receive na agad ako ng email, na-DQ na ako. So, I was just waiting for my interview. So, it was very smooth. And then, talagang na-shock talaga ako kasi sabi ko, okay, nakapag-plan na lang ako. Kasi sige, sabi ko, magre-resign na lang ako. But that time, I was just finished my 5 years sa hospital. So, kung magre-resign ako in between, then we have challenges pa sa hospital before na meron silang sa amin, increment, and then they are deducting in our end of service benefits. So, that time, most of my colleagues na umalis in my hospital is sila pa yung nagbayad sa hospital, which is around roughly 4,000 to 5,000 US dollar, riyals, Saudi riyals. So sabi ko, kung ako magre-resign, ako pa yung magbabayad sa hospital ko, which is I'm expecting that money. And yung mga na-earn ko naman na mga savings ko during that time, syempre nagastos ko na siya sa processing, which is pag direct hire ka kasi ikaw yung gagastos pagdating na, especially if you have dependents. So binayaran ko na kasi lahat yun sa dependents ko. So ayan, after nun, sabi ko, okay, sige, tutuloy ko pa siya. So, naka-receive ako ng interview date kasi ang aking embassy is Saudi Arabia. So, pinili ko yung USM Saudi Arabia. And then, after that, naka-receive ako ng interview date around March 20. And then, my interview date was May 23 last year, 2023. So, grabe yung tuwa ko na nun kasi interview na. So, after dun, visa na, dire-diretso na. So, sabi ko, ala Lord, parang wala pang 1 year. So, parang technically, parang nasa 8 months pa lang, 7 to 8 months pa lang. And then, eto na agad. So, sabi ko, so, parang kumbaga nagkaroon na ako ng mindset na, okay, ito na yung gagawin ko. Then after that, nung na-interview kami, naririnig, during the April, naririnig na namin, bago pa kami mag-interview, naririnig na namin yung issue about retrogression. So sabi ko, hindi na yan, kasi meron na akong interview date, okay na. Sabi ko, siguro yung mga yung mga nagpa-process pa lang na I-140. So yun din yung sabi sa amin ng agency namin, so during that time, ng law firm namin. So, and then they still proceeded sa ibang USM, sa ibang embassy, kinansel na nila yung mga May na interview kasi nga during that time, June, magkakaroon na ng retrogression, mag-start na yung retrogression, which is parang February 2020 na yung yung kanilang current that time. So parang ang layo na, which is from current, ang layo na ng backwards and my priority date that time is August 2022. So kung February 2022 and then hindi na ako pasok. So, pero si USM Riyadh, USM Saudi Arabia, hindi pa rin sila nag-cancel ng interview. So, very hopeful kami. okay, hopeful kami. And then they told us. Then, ngayon, 1 week, actually 2 weeks, nakikiramdam muna kami kung ika-cancel nila yung interview namin. Kasi even the other countries, like sa ibang mga lugar, kinancel na nila yung mga hindi na aabot yung priority date. Kasi ang priority date ko nga ay August. And then, the current that time on May is February 2022. So, sabi ko, sige. And then, sinabihan kami na, okay, tuloy pa rin yung interview namin, diretso pa rin, and they will give our visa. Then, nag-medical kami, me and my husband, sa Saudi, ng May 14. Then, after that, actually, that was my birthday. Sabi ko, Lord, ito na siguro. So, ito na yung birthday wish ko. So, sana maging smooth yung medical namin and after that. Then, after that, nag-proceed kami sa interview. During the interview, ang sabi talaga sa amin ng consul, pinaka-highlight dun is yung welcome to USA. Your visa approved. So, kinuha nila yung passport namin and everything. So, my husband, that time, he is working also in Saudi Arabia. So, I told him na mag-resign na. So, ako naman, may notice naman kami. So, sabi ko, once I receive the visa packet, that's the time ako magre-resign. So, sabi ko, kasi may mga vacation, accumulated vacation naman ako, so I can take that one naman earlier para hindi ko nagamitin yung 90 days period, sabi ko. Then, nag-resign si husband technically after our interview. So, during that time, syempre hopeful kami. Ang sabi sa amin ng consul, just wait for your visa packet 2 weeks to 6 weeks. Maximum 6 weeks. So, we even asked them, are we affected dun sa retrogression? Kasi since our PD is not current now, ang sabi sa amin, no, we will still issue your visa. So, past 6 weeks na, wala pa rin yung visa packet. And I was worried kasi that time, my husband, meron na siyang exit visa going back to Philippines. So, that was only 60 days. So, kailangan after 60 days, umalis na siya ng Saudi Arabia or else pwede siyang ipakulong ng kanyang employer. Kasi, nag-breach of contract na rin si husband eh. He has 2-year contract there and then 1 year pa lang, tinapos na namin. So, nagbayad kami sa company niya. Then, nung nagbayad kami sa company niya, sabi ko, sige, okay lang. Sabi niya, nagigitain naman yan sa US eh. So, di bali, maraming gastos, pero ganyan talaga part lang yan. So, technically, nung time na yun, parang kumbaga, naghihintay pa rin kami ng visa namin and wala sa amin yung passport namin. Kasi nga, it was nandun pa siya sa embassy. Kasi kasama yun ng visa packet pag pinadala sa amin. So, that time, May, June, July, August. August na, and then my husband's exit visa is about to expire. And then, only that's the time na nag-reply sa amin yung US Embassy na hindi na nila mapoprovide yung aming visa packet kasi hindi na kami current. So, wala nang visa available for us and then we have to wait until our PD is current. So, grabe, that time parang, kasi during that time din, pinadala ko na yung mga gamit ko sa Philippines. Parang kumbaga nagtira na ako ng isang kumot, isang unan, ganyan. So, parang ready na rin ako to go eh. After that, then, grabe, parang parang nagpaalam pa na rin sa mga friends mo na, oh, sige, aalis na ako in just 1 month pag na-receive ko na yung visa packet ko, ganyan. Then, malalaman mo, hindi pa pala nila ibibigay. And then, tinatanong namin sila kung kailan. Sabi na, until your PD is current. And that time, hindi pa sigurado kung mag-current ang PD by October. Kasi that was, August, September, October, hindi pa sure kung mag-current. And then, si husband, kailangan na umuwi, walang passport. So, we decided to retract our passport dun sa US Embassy. Nakiusap na lang kami. And sinabi namin, since hindi nyo naman mapoprovide yung aming visa, i-retract na namin yung passport namin. So, nung ni-retract namin yung passport namin, talagang, miyak talaga ako kasi receiving the passport without the visa packet, parang, sabi ko, Lord, ano ba? Para ba talaga ako sa US? Pero bakit ganito? Napaka-smooth from the very beginning. Pero, naabutan ka ng retrogression. Parang sabi ko, ano ba? Parang, andyan na eh, okay na eh. And our medical will only valid for 6 months. So, it will expire by November. So, kung hindi mag-current ng October, wala, ma-expire na naman siya. We have to repeat it again. So, sabi ko, naghintay talaga. Talagang sinubok talaga yung, kumbaga, yung faith mo kung talagang para sa US ka talaga. So, sabi ko, okay, sige, tuloy ako. Buti na lang, the good thing is, hindi ako nag-resign. Kasi kung nag-resign ako sa, sa hospital ko, that time, baka pareho kaming jobless ni husband and we have 2 kids na umaasa sa amin. So, sabi ko, siguro yun na lang din yung blessing ni Lord during that time with, na hindi ako nag-resign. Then, after that, So sabi ko, umuwi na si husband sa Philippines, so siya na yung nagstay doon. Wala na kami magagawa kasi andyan na wala na. So we waited for the PD to be current. Then this January pa lang, nung lumabas na yung visa bulletin, sabi na sila. So parang it's been from May hanggang January. So parang almost 9 months. 9 months na naghintay kami hanggang sa lumabas yung current ng visa bulletin for February, which is lalabas siya during January. So lumabas siya ng January and pumasok na yung PD ko, which is August 2022. So sabi ko, ayan na, andito na siya. So during that time, nag-decide na ako lahat. Ito na. So sabi ko sa parents ko, sabi ko sa husband ko, pinabalik ko siya sa Saudi Arabia. So with all the expenses of visa and everything, and ticket back and forth, going back to Saudi Arabia para mag-medical ulit. And then umulit-ulit kami ng medical, which is shoulder pa rin namin yung lahat-lahat. So sabi ko, Lord, sabi ko, ito na, sabi ko, andyan na talaga yung visa namin. And then ang challenges talaga dun is parang kumbaga dumating ako sa point na itutuloy ko pa ba to? Kasi ang sabi sa akin ng USM Riyadh, kung i-retract namin yung documents ko at i-transfer ko siya sa Philippines, magba-back to zero ako. Which is literally balik sa interview, mag-uulit-ulit ako ng medical and interview and yung queue. Kasi nga as transfer. So sabi niya, kasi nga physical file na yung meron kami, hindi na siya nasa NVC. Which is hindi na ako makaka-receive ng interview date from the NVC kasi physical file na. So yung challenges dun is like para akong iniwan sa Saudi Arabia na wala kang choice kundi magstay ka dyan, parang dyan ka lang. Hindi ka na, mag-wait ka na talaga dun hindi ka makakaalis ng Saudi unless kung bibitawan ko yung application ko. So sabi ko, talagang pinag-pray ko talaga kay Lord. Sige, parang 1 year, sabi ko 1 year, 2 years, pag wala pa, sabi ko mag-apply na lang ako Dubai. Sabi ko mag-apply na lang ako muna sa ibang country kasi staying in my hospital, seeing my friends na umaalis, na usually we called it sa Saudi Arabia, pag aalis sila magmamaasalama kami. So I usually prepare for their maasalama, lahat. Kumbaga, parang we have 4 staff na Filipino in my team A and Team B. 4 kami na Filipino, 3 of them left already. So ako na lang yung naiwan. Working there from October hanggang January, that time was very parang yun yung pinaka challenging time ko kasi wala kang kausap na Filipino. Puro ibang lahi yung kausap mo, puro Saudi nationals and Pero it was a good team, but still iba kasi yung meron kang kachikahan na Filipino. So doon ako nakaramdam talaga ng depression. Doon ako nakaramdam ng parang gusto ko nang i-give up yung buong buong NCLEX processing ko. So sabi ko, ayoko na pero hindi, buti na lang talaga talaga ako, sabi ko, Lord, bigyan pa ako ng konting patience pa para dito. Then after that, nung na-receive na namin yung visa packet namin, doon ko na talaga nasabi na okay, this is it. Ito na talaga kasi nandun na yung mukha namin, dyan na yung immigrant visa. So sabi ko, Lord, ito na. So sabi ko parang pinag-antay. And the good news with that one, the blessing that I got with that one is nung time na yon bigla nang nag-iba yung CEO ng hospital namin. So dahil nga parang na marami nag-complain with regards to the deductions, parang tinigil nila yung deductions. The thing only is medyo delay lang yung pagbigay ng benefits, pero at least nakasama ako doon sa wala ng deduction. So which is hindi ko na kailangan, kahit mag-resign ako, hindi ko na kailangan magbayad. Hindi ko man makuha yung malaking end of service benefits ko kasi resignation, pero at least wala na ako babayaran sa hospital ko, which is good thing. Sabi ko nga, there's always a blessing in disguise doon sa mga nangyayari sa atin na delays. So sabi ko nga, parang especially when I talk to my students, sabi ko sa kanila, lagi ko naman sinishare sa inyo yung story ko with the challenges ko throughout this kasi yung NCLEX natin, parang it's just the beginning Wala pa yan. Sabi ko, wala pa yan pag nag-process na kayo talaga ng American Dream nyo, yung pag-start nyo ng I-140 and everything, wala pa. So sabi ko, yung NCLEX na yan, kung dyan pa lang, hindi nyo na kaya. How much more pa yung mga susunod na challenges nyo. So, lagi kong ina-example yung experience ko sa kanila na have their faith doon sa kung talagang ito yung binigay sa'yo na path ni Lord. Nasa sa'yo na lang yan if you want to go and push through, or magsa-stop ka talaga kasi kung bibitawan mo yan in the middle, walang mangyayari. So sabi ko, you will keep on dreaming na, what if, what if, what if. So sabi ko, I continued, and even though marami, alam ko, there was, the another challenges kasi ng mga iba is yung gastos. Sabi ko nga, as long as you're working, pagka binigay yan sa'yo ni Lord, God will provide eh. Talagang magkakaroon ka ng source of fund na para masustain yan, para at least magkaroon ka ng ano. And it was a blessing for me na naging part ako ng iPass because it really helps me with my American dream. Kasi kung hindi din ako naging part ng iPass as a success coach, hindi ko mababayaran yung mga fee bills and everything na yan. So hindi kaya eh. Parang kumbaga, paying it alone with my salary sa hospital, hindi enough. Kasi yung salary ko nga lang sa hospital, hindi pa siya enough sa family ko eh. How much more pa sa mga extra expenses. So talagang grateful din ako being part of the iPass team na naging success coach. And with that, nakatulong talaga sila sa akin sa buong American dream ko. So ayun, sobrang thankful din po talaga ako. The preparations that I have now, since na-brief naman na kami with regards dun sa mga things na kailangan namin dalhin before going to US, and yung mga pocket money and expenses na kailangan namin i-expect pagdating doon. So when it comes to the accommodation, so you have to prepare for the accommodations as well. Especially if you're a direct hire, ikaw talaga ang mag-shoulder ng mga yun. Depende sa agency mo kung ano yung pwede nilang i-provide sa'yo partially, pero mostly ikaw talaga. Especially kasi ang direct hire naman lahat, ikaw lang as the applicant ang sagot nila. Your dependents will be yours. So you have to expect yung expenses ng mga dependents mo, especially kung marami kang kids or kung dadalhin mo sila lahat together with you. So, yung mga naging preparation ko this time is that one. Talagang in-expect ko na rin yung magiging gastos to how we will transition dun sa US pagdating sa mga sa allowance, for example, and then sa food everyday. Kasi hindi naman agad-agad sa sahod ka. So, syempre, kailangan expected mo yung mga gastos nyo. And for my kids kasi, they are, itinag ko sila as follow to join. Naging practical na lang siguro ako in a way na pag dinala ko kasi sila agad-agad, lahat kami mag-a-adjust at the same time. Hindi kagaya pag ako and my husband muna, at least meron kaming time to prepare for their arrival. Pag dumating sila doon, nakasettle na school, yung sa bahay, and everything. Then at the same time, nakapag-adjust na kami. Alam na namin yung place, yung community, kung safe, kung ano ba yung mas okay sa kanila. So, ganun ang ginawa kong preparation. So, follow to join yung aking mga kids and mauuna muna kami ni husband. During that time, hindi muna din ako hindi naman kami nagmamadali na pumunta ng US. Kasi, parang, binigyan naman kami ng time, ample time to prepare.
Congrats for passing the exam.
Thank you so much. Si Mom. Thank you po, Ma'am. Kala ko pa na. Thank you.
Sorry, Ma'am.
Ayun nga. Sabi ko, ka lang kay Ma'am. Thank you so much, Ma'am Rachel. Thank you for this po.
This one is congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations for send from iPass.
Thank you.